reluctant to move to the northern part of the country uh, from the southern part. So we have a group company of Murugappa also. We have a Shokli land also here in UP.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah,
Nice.
so the perception of UP, we are trying to change the perception of UP, what UP was being perceived 10, 15 years back to
Mhm.
what it is now. So things are changing and we are trying to change the perception and, bring in a holistic development of the state.
Right to know, sir.
Like 2 years before, I think there's one of the PSU bank, their MD, the CEO, and who recently took over one ED also, like came to our chamber, like very close-ended meeting, just to know like what all they could do for chamber and chamber members in terms of credit and all those things. Apart from that, he was just giving one strong message. This is about 2-3 years before, I guess. Whoever wants to grow their business, even if it is a very small, tiny, or whatever your scale of business, please come and apply right now. Would be given a red carpet welcome right from the airport till you just go back. That's the way UP government is functioning. So you will grow, potentially very fast and profitably. That is the way the CEO of Bank of Maharashtra, if I'm not mistaken, he just said in one of the meeting with us, this is off the shelf he spoke. So
But on a
that's
lighter note, on seeing the amount of achievements, there is not even a single gray hair. Quite young for matching
Yeah,
achievements are
correct.
so huge, and we are so happy to have you here today, Rohit, with us today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, how did you choose this field, doing a strategy development?
Okay, so ma'am, I mean, after my post-graduation, I was working with the PSU, and my job role was compliance and regulatory affairs there. So for close to 4.5 years, I was a part of the compliance and regulatory affairs team and a couple of digital transformation projects. Therein, the idea of, studying public policy and strategy kicked in. Then I chose IIM Ahmedabad to, study public policy and strategy and some part of the econometric analytics of it. And then I joined ENY. I was recruited from the campus for ENY and into the strategy and transactions service line. So I got the idea of studying public policy strategy right from the PSU days.
Oh,
Okay.
So generally, people who are interested in public policy will choose IAS, and you are chosen in a different way. That is much more beneficial from a consultant perspective.
correct.
So our chamber, like generally, he'll be talking about it in the welcome address, but there are a lot of things which can be shared, what he will not be able to present in his
Yes.
small thing. My friend, good friend of mine, Mahishini Reddy from this one, Durban, South Africa. For every program of it, when I send a link, she'll make up available from the office hours also and come.
Oh, very
And
nice.
constructively, she'll give a lot of good questions ahead also. This time I was a bit, occupied with different things. I didn't ask her any question. Probably she will have her own thing. Linesh, our former last immediate past
Immediate
president,
past president.
Linesh Sanat Kumar. So he set a lot of rolling out of the speed of the Chambers program. And so that kicked in with all others. And we are going in almost at least 2 programs a week is the metric which is going on now.
Yes, very true.
Thank you so much, madam. It all happens as a team and the initiative that you have also taken. And I can see the same spirit and momentum you're continuing. Keep that up, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Linesh ji. So now, anybody who can just share some more things about our HCC till the participants fully join. Like we've just logged of 34 only now. So, Sai, I just request you to make it automatic so that people will come in fast. Last
Yeah, I think
time,
there's
I was having.
I
Yes.
think there is a registration form, so that's probably taking some few minutes.
No, that was a new one. Earlier link, whatever that has been given, they all have been registered one. This
Yeah,
one,
but I
what
think
has
even now
happened was it
when
was
you sign in, it still asks for registration.
it's still asking.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
still asking. That's what
I
I was
think-
just,
Oh.
that's why I joined in a little late. I was just
Yeah.
trying to sort that out.
It's okay. I think it's just corrected.
Okay.
Rohit bhai, you work with JETRO also as an organization?
Yes, so we met Jetro's key office bearers in Japan, and I guess a fortnight ago, the CEO of Invest UP, he met Jetro India chief. I was not a part of that thing. So, I mean, now we are closely working with Honda also. So they shut down the production of the Greater Noida plant, and now we are pursuing to, start the production again. And we are trying to address their pain points here in UP with respect to the compliance and the other affairs, and some sort of the labor issues also. So, I mean, that is how we are trying to tackle each and every problem which the industry is facing. We are also closely working with the state levels bankers committee also, trying to push, the faster funding, faster disbursement of the loans, and easier closures as well.
That was a real pain point in number of years, like even for 5 days before, the MSME minister, he also spoke and then he was just telling whatever new schemes which comes also at the end of it, there are certain points which are still not able to be addressed. And newer firms, especially service-based industries, are having a lot of difficulty in getting government loans. The other loans
Yes.
with a higher interest is always there. That is the one, like there's one other industry, there's another company, they're into service only, but they get, other countries, they are welcome. Not with this of so much of a thing. When it comes over here, our CA, Renuka only knows. In the balance sheet, like we have accounts receivable basis, they give the, loan. Like, see, this particular company, they don't even have accounts receivable, they bill it on a receipt basis. So they say that since you don't have accounts receivable basis, even though that 58-minute loan came some 2 years before, that PSU thing. So they uploaded all the document, one of my client, and then they got it some 68.37 lakhs. The bank, one SBA nearby to that office, called and then said, you've been sanctioned with a PSU loan of so much, submit all your document. Whatever that has been submitted online, if they submit it to the bank fully, the says that no, that is only in principle approval. We will go through from our A to Z. So which means they say that you don't have any accounts receivable, will not be able to give. We give only 20% of your AR. What is the 20% of AR? 18% goes for GST. What is the fun in getting 2%, and that too, it'll go for the interest. So as well as not to take loan at all in that route, go in a different way. So now they just started getting funding and going in a equity basis. So this is a real which is happening. Very rarely people are able to understand. Some of the NBFCs are coming forward. But again, they say that if it is a manufacturing, we'll be able to do without AR.
Yes.
So manufacturing, they basically rely on the machinery and other things which are there, and then they are willing to do. So they don't want to believe the brain work, and there are a lot of IP works are there. There are a lot of digital assets there. So much is there, but they say that we'll not be able to evaluate all this. So we are government officials, don't expect all this from us. So newer vision people are very difficult in getting into the traditional stream of financing of government.
Very true.
And by the way, our president is also into finance only, finance business. They also recently got some 300, what is it, something you got some fund in this one, no sir? Lineage was once.
Yeah, we got around 8.5 US dollars, 8.5 million US dollar from British government for MSME and green projects.
Oh,
Funding to
okay.
MSME and green projects, yeah.
So is
Okay,
this
so
the fund in which they are? I mean, I came across a fund. I mean, one of my clients, they were approaching the UK government. So through their arm, they are investing into food processing, solar,
Hmm.
and the other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're directly doing it through equity also.
No, this is
And
not through equity. This is actually kind of a loan, debt
mhm,
only basically. So
okay.
repayable in 42 months. At the end of 42
Oh,
months, a bullet payment.
okay.
okay. So we as keep logging, we'll start. It's already 10 minutes past. So
Yeah, I
can
think
we
we should
start with
start.
the
Yes.
Correct.
yeah. Madhu, you can start your this one.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening and a warm welcome for today's virtual webinar, MSME, the Growth Engine of Nation, by Mr. Rohit Raghava, IIM-A Alumni, Manager, Big Four Consulting & Co. Today's webinar is organized by Hindustan Chamber of Commerce Economic Affairs Committee, Chairperson Dr. Gowri Ramachandran, and Co-Chairperson Madam Renuka Murali. On this outset, I request Hindustan Chamber of Commerce President Mr. Ramesh Dugar to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my proud privilege on behalf of Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, an 80-year-old organization, to welcome today's speaker, Mr. Rohit Raghava. We are thankful to have you here, sir. I thank Dr. Gowri Ramachandran, Chairperson of the Economic Affairs Committee, and CA Renuka Murali, the co-chair, for organizing this webinar. MSMEs are crucial for India's long-term prosperity, driving GDP growth, industrial production, and job creation. The government's initiatives and reforms are fostering their growth, unlocking talent, resources, and opportunities. The Ministry of MSME has launched schemes like Udyam Registration, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust, and RAMP to support MSMEs. With India approaching a 5 trillion economy, the MSME sector is projected to grow to 1 trillion by 2028. I invite Mr. Rohit Raghava to address us after Dr. Gowri Ramachandran's introduction. For newcomers, HCC is a non-profit organization, an 80-year-old supporting trade and industry with over 1,000 plus members. We are active on social media. Follow us more for updates. We offer various services, and on behalf of, if any further inquiries, you may contact our secretariat to join. Welcome again to our speaker and participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. I request Renuka Murali ma'am, Co-Chairperson, Economic Affairs Committee, Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, to kindly introduce the speaker.
Very good evening to all of you. It's really a proud privilege to introduce Mr. Rohit Raghava to this entire August audience. Mr. Rohit Raghava is an IIM-A alumni. He's a public policy and strategy professional with strong experience across government advisory, investment promotion and development initiatives. He currently works as a manager in Ernst & Young, a big four firms, government and public sector vertical. And he collaborates with senior government stakeholders, drive investment-led growth, policy development, and institutional strengthening. Rohit holds advanced credentials in public policy and strategic management from IIM Ahmedabad and has been closely involved in multiple high-impact initiatives aimed at fostering industrial development, improving governance frameworks, and enabling economic progress. His work spans policy formulation, stakeholder engagement, compliance, and support for transformative programs with a focus on building sustainable and future-ready government systems. And the entire meeting will take an hour time to introduce more about Rohit because this has got such a wonderful profile. And like all the members of the audience, I'm also equally eager to listen to you, Mr. Rohit. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Renuka ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Gowri Ramachandran, Chairperson, Economic Affairs Committee, to kindly speak about the theme for today.
Well, MSME, when you just talk about it, India and MSME is inseparable. As of 4th July 2025, we have over 6.5 crore registered MSMEs as per the Udyam portal data. And there are, as brief introduction given about MSME by Chair President, I just thought that there are some more additions I could do to introduce it. Why are we keep happening? MSME programs happening every part of the state, every part of India, something or the other. And 5 days before also, Minister Sridhar Ramji has inaugurated some of the schemes over there in Delhi. So that keeps happening, but yet there are a lot of things which we want to listen from Rohit about, especially the challenges I was just asking him to emphasize more. Okay, they provide jobs on a large scale. Say MSME definitely contribute to the substantial share of 30% of the GDP, 45% of exports, and foster entrepreneurship across diverse groups and act as a crucial auxiliary units for larger industries. As of 2023-24 survey taken, 2,53,334 big industries, factories are there, out of which Tamil Nadu has around 39,666 factories, big factories, and Gujarat is, of course, 31,031. So when these factories are there, all the Tier 2, Tier 3 suppliers are all MSMEs. So the Udyam registration further strengthen this role to make it more, streamlined, and then they get all the benefits through this. They get the payment also on time about it. So when it comes to this, what is the key contribution of MSME for employment? And then for GDP, exports, inclusive growth, innovation, adaptability, supply chain support. They act as I said, the critical ancillary units supplying raw material, component services to larger industries are strengthened by this ecosystem. So without much, I just thought that I'll hand over it to Rohit to elaborate more on that. We all know what is the MSME number, MSME growth, various schemes rolled out by government. So I just thought that to the given time, he'll just give a brief about what is MSME, which to the extent whatever know, there are a lot of students also there. So I requested him to give a brief once again about it before elaborating on the challenges and what probable solutions can be given. And at the end of it, if we have anything to be submitted as a recommendation to the ministry, we will be welcome to do that. That also you can add it at your end. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, ma'am. So good evening, everyone, respected dignitaries, industry members, entrepreneurs, and students. My name is Rohit Raghava. It is an honor to speak before a dignified forum like this. And I thank Dr. Gowri Ramachandran for giving me this opportunity. This sector is often called as, the backbone of the Indian economy. But what I would want to emphasize on is, MSMEs are not just the support pillars of the Indian economy. They are truly the growth engines that absolutely drive employment, innovation, exports, and inclusive development right from the rural strata to the urban strata. So all these spheres are connected through MSMEs. Over the next few minutes, I'll try to deliberate on the current landscape of the MSMEs in the country, the challenges they face, and what can be done to make the MSMEs more resilient, more adapt to making a country which is marching towards Viksit Bharat 2047. So this is a brief of the MSME sector in the country. Over 7.17 odd crore MSMEs were registered till 20th of November 2025. The sector contributes to 45.73% of the total of India's exports. Over 31 crore people are employed. The GBA contribution stands at 30%. The budgetary allocation is increasing year on year. This year's budget had 23,168 crores allocated to the MSME ministry. And then, these are the top states which are, top states by MSME registration: Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh. So, I would like to start with an example. So, uh, there is a city in Uttar Pradesh called as Muradabad, and the brass industry is very famous. They supply decorative goods to Europe. They are consumed locally also. Similarly, Tirupur's textiles products are exported to some of the world's largest brands, world's largest economies. So these examples show how, small enterprises are creating global value. Coming to the struggles of the Indian MSME sector. So as we all saw, the numbers are very impressive, but the lived reality is far behind what is being shown through the numbers. MSMEs encounter multiple roadblocks. There are some structural challenges and some policy-related challenges as well. So I'll just shift to the next slide. So the key challenges which I could identify in the MSME sector are access to credit, technology adoption, compliance, and with compliance comes competition. There is inadequate infrastructure across the MSME ecosystem. Availability of raw materials becomes a challenge at times. Supply of utilities is a challenge. Access to new markets is a challenge. Availability of skilled labor is also a challenge. So addressing the access to credit challenge, many MSMEs, first-time entrepreneurs, they face challenge to secure loans at affordable rates. Banks typically require collaterals, extensive documentation that the small enterprises or the first-time entrepreneurs may not have. For instance, a small auto component manufacturer in Manesar, Gurgaon, or in Tamil Nadu, or in Pune, Maharashtra, may need a 15 lakh loan, 20 lakh loan to buy a CNC machine, but is asked to provide a property collateral worth 30 lakh rupees. So, if there is no ownership of the property, or if there is no way the entrepreneur can provide a collateral, he is deprived of the opportunity of earning and contributing. The second challenge is technology adoption. So most MSMEs still are using outdated machinery or manual processes. A simple example is from the city from which I come. I am a native of Varanasi, and Varanasi is very famous for the Banarsi saris, silk stoles, and other stuff. The handloom units want to adopt semi-automatic looms, but they are unable to do so just because of the high upfront cost. The other challenge is, once you start a loom in your house in a small room or two rooms, the energy department treats it as an industrial unit and they start to charge you on industrial rates. So that is also a pain point for a small artisan who is trying to, who's working hard for 45 to 90 days and making a particular sari or a stole. Another challenge which I can see is the competition, especially from the global suppliers. Cheaper imports often, crowd out the local MSME products. So these are easily seen in the electronic parts, toys, plastic goods, uh, ceramics. Morbi used to be the world's largest ceramic manufacturing hub, tiles manufacturing hub, and now it has come down to the second position, and China has taken the first position. So all these industries are being hampered by the imported products due to lower production cost abroad. In a nutshell, we are unable to achieve the economies of scale. And beyond these, the challenges extend to infrastructure, raw material availability, utility cost, access to market, availability of skilled labor is also a challenge. Talking about the compliance burden, the access to the government schemes or incentives, is easy. You get a in principle approval in 59 minutes, but then you have to comply with all the documentation, all the property, or some other collaterals, or you resort to informal line of credit, wherein you have very high lending rates, and then things start to take a bad shape. For example, a small food processing unit, if it is, I mean, if they are trying to avail a government subsidy, they are required to submit all sort of documents, right from their personal KYC to their enterprise KYC, their invoices of asset purchase, their cost of goods sold, and everything. The complexity of filing the documentation and complying with the policy norms usually discourages many from applying. Another significant issue which I can see on the compliance part, and it is linked with access to credit also. So the government incentives, they ease out the cash flow of the investor, be it a small investor or a high ticket investor. The government incentives, they ease out the cash flow of the investment. So even after approvals of the subsidy, capital incentives, interest subventions, electricity duty exemptions, or reimbursement take months, sometimes years to reach the entrepreneur. So the process is so cumbersome within the government of approvals. It goes to the cabinet or it goes to a particular minister and then it gets approved. So, I mean, a particular industry which is working with very tight margins, I mean, these delays usually put a financial burden on them. So a classic example of this is, so if someone starts a cold storage, investing high value into the infrastructure, but then they face years of time to get the power subsidy reimbursements, or to get the capital subsidy reimbursement on the infrastructure which they have created. So obviously the margins are tight, the process is slow, and similar things like that. A third challenge is, if the MSMEs are trying to be globally competitive, the global markets have now adopted to certain certifications for the products. Without certifications like ISO, CE, BIS, HACCP, MSMEs cannot access the global supply chains. Also, the certification fees, recertification, laboratory testing charges, annual audits, etc., are too expensive for small units. So, I mean, the government should also work on these aspects. Obviously, there are schemes, but they are not being translated on the ground. For example, a leather exporter from, Kanpur, Agra, or a, medical glove manufacturer in Noida may need multiple certifications for the products to be, consumed in Singapore, Japan, or other geographies. So, which becomes very unaffordable for these small enterprises. Raw material volatility is something which is also hampering the smooth functioning of MSMEs. And the shortage of skilled labor, MSMEs often report that, while labor is available, skilled labor is not. A precision engineering entity anywhere in India, if they need a particular CNC machine or a lathe machine operator, a programmer, so the academia, industry academia linkages, I can say it is not that good, not at par with the requirements of the industry. So that is why skilled labor shortage is also being faced. Now I'll come to the intensity of challenges across sectors. So the high intensity of challenges often lie in the auto components, basic metals, drug, pharmaceuticals. So these sectors are labor intensive and prone to high compliance requirements. Also, they need heavy capex investment. Moderate, I can say, handloom clusters and uh, 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 electrical equipment manufacturers, electronic goods and retailers. I mean, where the manufacturing part is a bit on a lower side, they face a moderate level of challenges in terms of accessing credit and the other challenges which were laid out. Service MSMEs such as IT sector, consulting, design firms, they face digital infrastructure limitations, regulatory uncertainties, against certifications on cybersecurity and the other compliances, and competition from global service providers. So the challenge of the landscape we can see is not uniform. Sector-specific strategies and tailor-made policy interventions are essential, to address the intensity of challenges across the sectors. Coming to the way forward, I mean, better access to credit, we have CGTMSE, RAM, and whatnot. But still, the entrepreneurs, the existing age-old units who have been, who have been able to scale up from a core industry to MSME, I mean, they are now a 50, 100 odd crore network, I mean, turnover industry. They are also facing difficulties in accessing the credit. Then, I mean, the bankers' apprehensions are also required to be satisfied in terms of accessing the credit. The country must shift towards cash flow based lending using GST and digital transaction data rather than resorting to account receivables and the other traditional forms. This will also allow the MSMEs with clean operational records, but with fewer physical assets to secure loans. And strengthening the credit guarantee schemes and reducing the collateral requirement will help the industry to access better credit. Second, we must build a digital MSME ecosystem. Adoption of digital payments, invoicing, ERP systems, SAP systems, online marketplace should become a standard practice. At the first instance, it might look a bit costly for a small scale industry, but in the longer run, it is definitely going to help the entrepreneur. For example, any small artisan or a group of artisans who are operating out of a cluster in India, they can sell globally using e-commerce if supported with basic digital training. Technology upgradation, at the other hand, is also essential. MSME must have access to modern machinery, automation tools, and emerging technologies. I mean, they must adopt emerging technologies like AI, IoT, cloud systems. Shared testing labs should be set up. Technology parks can reduce the cost significantly. I mean, what is being done in the southern states like Sri City in Andhra MedTech City. So, I mean, all the niche sector MSMEs which are going to Andhra MedTech City, they are getting all the testing facilities, all the shared technology things at a single place. That is reducing their cost and improving their cash flows. MSMEs should also integrate to the global supply chains. This will obviously require simplifying export processes, reducing paperwork, and supporting MSMEs in obtaining the global certifications. As we discussed earlier, global certifications are still a challenge for many industries. So, I mean, if the government or if the state governments, if they provide financial assistance for certifications that can enable MSMEs to supply to European, American, Japanese, and the other markets. Governance and investor readiness should also improve. MSMEs should gradually adopt for better accounting practices, financial reporting, and quality control systems to make them more attractive and more reliable for buyers as well. Continuous skilling is required for the entrepreneur as well as the workers who are working with that particular entrepreneur. District level skill hubs with local industry needs. I mean, if a particular district is famous for a particular MSME sector, so there can be a district level skill hub aligned with the local industry needs, and apprenticeship should be encouraged, so that the young people can gain practical training directly from the MSMEs. The other aspect is, we must focus on creating mini Shenzhens. So this was done in China, wherein the government, industry, academia, they all came together and created a MSME city. It is a high-tech manufacturing ecosystem in which all the MSMEs are thriving and dumping their products, I mean, like anything out of China. These clusters also host R&D labs, testing facilities, skill centers, incubators, so that the MSMEs are operating out of that particular cluster, they innovate and scale faster. So, I mean, through this, I'll be closing my short presentation. In conclusion, I would like to say MSMEs are not just contributors to the Indian economy, they are the foundation of the Indian economy. And upon this foundation, a global competitive India can be built. If we reduce the compliance burdens, ensure faster disbursement of incentives, loans, and other ways of credit, support technology adoption, and enable global market access, we can transform this sector. And with the right reforms and right support, MSMEs can lead India's journey towards becoming a developed, innovative, and a sustainable economy by 2047. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take up Q&A session. So there are a lot of MSMEs, our own persons, Linesh, and this one is also that I saw President-elect also right now logged in. And one thing before somebody asks the question, I would just say, the credit gap is estimated 30 lakh crore of about 24% of the total demand. How is it's impossible to government alone to address this particular credit gap. So what else you feel from the hands-on experiences dealing with all your things? What is the model? Like one thing what you just told was very attractive. Like the local skilled MSMEs, say for in some particular GI tagged city, if they are good in some particular thing, they can just mop up those persons and give them the skills so that hands-on experience can be done, the nuances can be taught to them. They may be so that skill deficit in that particular trade can be addressed if they come forward to do it. Then comes the credit portion of it. How is it? That's the biggest challenge.
I mean, I lost you in between, ma'am. Can you please repeat your question again? I'm fine with the.
Like I was just, the first thing is like making each industry, the GI specific things to make a skill sets available is a very good suggestion from what I've just heard from you. So that, that particular trade, all the people can get oriented and look for the job opportunities in that. That's from the employment perspective. So the services, women-centric MSMEs are 35%. So will there be any the memorandum what we can give it to government is in addition to government channels of all the schemes and other things, where exactly the bottleneck? See, now you say that they have to skill it in all the latest technology and all the things, for which they have to have a consultant who have to teach, otherwise it is not happening. And most of the MSMEs where we lack is also, you say that they should have a good accounting, corporate governance and all those things, which is applicable for to compete with the global. Even to have a basic good accounting setup with the two good accountants and one accounts manager to know a little bit of compliance is a hard thing to get it in today's MSME world. So our chamber also had a tie-up with one of the colleges. Our chamber has disseminated GST latest rules, laws, regulations, and things like that, and how to get into GST portal, do the things. Kind of a practical 1 week session or something, full day we gave, and I think about 30-40 students enabled, and certification was given, and our own members interviewed them and taken them for a accountant post. So then further to equip them is relying with the employer per se. So this is the basic thing we just has an industry started last year. So now likewise for a credit one with any of the renowned industries or where the charitable institutions, can they do something in this way so that they also get a CSR credit?
Okay.
No,
So
like
I'll give
some
you.
unique way we'll have to give some inputs to government. This is what I'm just thinking.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. So UP state is having multiple defense nodes. The Salt has partnered with us. They are investing in UP. Parallelly, what they are doing is they have tied up with us. They are selecting students based on their own criteria from the local institutes. They are training them for free on whatever aspects they are. I mean, the if the student is a engineering student, so they are training them on the technology part. If he's of a commerce background, so they are training them on that part, and then deploying them. So they are now linking them with their own suppliers.
Okay.
So the anchor investor is doing it as a part of their CSR initiative, and then linking it to their own company and their own suppliers.
Good. That in a way also at least to that back end and forward back end and forward integration happens, and it's good. At least that
Yes.
particular industry can produce good amount of thing, and
Yes,
at
yes,
free of cost also the skill sets imparted. That's good. One good thing.
yes.
And so there are people who would like to spend from the CSR this model. How do we really project it to government? From your side, you given it to UP government?
So, ma'am, once the Salt approached us to, manufacture their products here in UP, so they themselves they found the skill gap, and then they said,
Okay.
if we are bringing in the floor shop technicians from other parts of the country, it will be very costly for us to,
Costly.
yes.
Correct.
So they wanted to train the local students by the time their factory is up. I mean, it took around 18 months, and within a span
Correct.
of 18 months, they trained around 1,000 of students. And
Correct.
then they absorbed them either on roll, off roll, or on contractual basis
Okay.
into their own facility or in their, I mean, they link them with their suppliers as well. And
Okay.
now their suppliers are also willing to come closer to the anchor investor just to reduce their logistics costs and the other allied costs. So that is why, I mean, this kind of an initiative can be worked, and this helps both the industry,
Fruitful.
academia.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this exactly has happened when West Bengal didn't give approval for Tata Motors for their thing. Then Gujarat gave it, and in Sanand, what has happened? So when they were able to set up the thing, immediately they said that we need to have. They went and approached the automobile engineering nearby engineering colleges, introduced the automobile subject. By that time, they get that 1 year, 2 year certification. The construction was over. All of them have been absorbed as a trainees first. So this is
True.
how, like the government also should come forward, the institutions. There's a lot of stakeholders have to get in together to address this particular common issues.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So,
there is a very, very large crowd out there, the Gen Z crowd,
Yes.
right? Who are who use their social media and Instagram for being entrepreneurs. Every day, when you have time to, browse through internet, you find some entrepreneurs selling something, maybe food, maybe dress material, maybe anything, and they seem to be interested and they make use of the social media very well, I would say. Rather, this is a very welcoming change among the youngsters where they really want to use the social media for being an entrepreneur and to, make some good money out of it. But on the other side, there is this government, very proactive government, which is available with a hell a lot of schemes and benefits that are available to them. One of the points that you showed as a bottlenecks was the difference between the gap between the government's initiative reaching uh, the mass who really want to work or who really want to make some real business out of it. uh, as when we know about from the chamber's perspective, as a strategic specialist, do you have any strategic ideas where we can build the gap between these two, and how our chamber can contribute to this, MSME initiatives?
So, ma'am, what I could see on this aspect is, awareness is something which is lacking amongst the masses on the government schemes.
Right.
The other threatening part of the government schemes is, as I told you, the application process, the documentation, and the other things. If you are a first generation entrepreneur, you have started your own venture. I mean, the government schemes, the compliance is so huge that people usually don't approach to the government for any sort of support. They simply form a company or a proprietorship firm. They get the GSTIN, they start their own office, and they start functioning. This is something, I mean, we as knowledge partners to the state of UP, what we have tried to do is we usually organize divisional level workshops addressing different crowds in that particular division. So we, speak to MSMEs, we speak to service industries, we speak to hoteliers, we speak to, the artisans, and then we try to understand what problems they are facing. We have the department representatives there as well. We try to get the issues resolved then and there if it is, I mean, if it can be done, or we ask them the mitigative measures and then things are done. Through these workshops, people are being sensitized on what the government is trying to do. And then, we have seen a lot of, turnout in terms of, the people approaching the government, approaching Invest UP, which is the nodal agency of the state for investments. And then, they come to us for incentives, for, regulatory support and the other things. So, I mean, we should obviously have some sort of a frequent interaction with the new generation entrepreneurs and sensitize them on the various aspects of the incentive ecosystem, the government scheme ecosystem, and everything.
Actually, 2-3 years before, 2 years continuously, we did to the students, we gave internship to students, and what we made them to go to different industrial, industrial sector, what they call industrial corridor or whatever it is. There, some industry specific, we prepared the questionnaire and then I evaluated and asked them to get it, meet the person concerned, and then do 2-3 schemes of central government. We took 1 year. And then another year, we took some state government schemes. Either way, none of them are aware. None of the industrial cluster knows about such kind of a things exist. So basically, those who read the paper, those who are with the media, those who are attached to the chamber, to that level it goes. As you say, unless you go down, to the last mile connectivity of addressing those people and mingling them, this is a very, very difficult task to achieve, I guess. So we submitted the report also to the various things because they were asking what is the effectiveness of the schemes and various things. And if you could see online, there are a lot of health schemes are all availed with the remote cities, remote villages in state-wise data is also there. When we interact with the people also, they say that yes, we went there, we got the facility. But those who do not know, do not know. They are not getting done through the other way. So there are other non-government agencies, they come with some specific motive and then they do. There are certain other NGOs also which are there. They take up the government schemes along with the postmasters. They go to the villages and they make them take those, schemes which are beneficial to the villages. That also happens. But overall, what is the bridge which we could do to accelerate this MSME speed, the bottlenecks, the challenges which you had mentioned it in a nutshell?
So, am I audible? Actually,
Yeah.
You are.
Okay. So, this is in my opinion, reaching the last person in the line is the first thing which can be done. And the government should come up with something more structural. So with my experience, I have interacted with many global companies. They ask us, what time can we establish a company in India? And in what time can we wind up the company in India? Do you have a SOP for that? I said,
Correct.
no, we have the SOP, but nowhere the timeline is being committed.
Correct.
So,
True.
I mean, this is the challenge. I mean, if so, on GST, there are multiple opinions. So, likewise, in UP, the umbrella policies they mandate for every unit which is being set up here in UP. So they should have another GST number. If a particular company is having 3 or 4 units in the state, they should have 3 or 4 GST numbers. Just because this that is going to ease the ITC calculation for the department. But the investor is facing compliance for 4 of the GST units. So, I mean, we should be reducing the number of compliance,
Clearance.
yes, clearances. There are certain mandatory requirements like consent to establish environmental clearances and the other things that take hell lot of time here in the northern part of the country. I'm not sure of what it is happening in Tamil Nadu, Hyderabad. I mean, in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, it is deemed approval. I mean, within the time frame, if it is not done, the certificate is deemed approved and you can start your own construction. If anything goes wrong, the responsibility lies with the government official on whose login the clearance was pending.
Okay.
Okay.
So that ways, the Andhra Pradesh government, Telangana government, they are trying to force the government employees to work within the TAT and work effectively.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I mean, if these things are in place, the Gen Zs, the new age entrepreneurs, they will have a particular place to go read. And, I mean, people are afraid. I mean, if I do something wrong with the GST department, I'll be served a notice and what not can happen and all these things people say. So, information should reach them, right information should reach them, and the compliance burdens, if they are reduced, I mean, people will definitely approach the government and things will be very streamlined.
Okay.
I mean, out of the box, even I do not know however it is practically possible. One other bottleneck that we had also discussed was this disbursement of loans from the banks where the protocols are too heavy. So an entrepreneur is expected to complete 2 protocols. One with the MSME department, for getting the permission to start the company and all that stuff. And the same set of papers may not be accepted by them.
Correct.
And there be a novel methodology where how the government encouraged opening Jandan accounts in bank. Can there be the government schemes where for a genuine entrepreneur where the checking is done at the grassroots level? The Department of MSME can directly grant the loan through the bank account so that the entrepreneur need not have to go to the bank, to get set another set of papers and get it done. I mean, this is too. I know it is too far stretched, but there can be something like that where at least to some extent, because from the bank's point of view, you need to give your tax returns and you need to give your collateral security to start. Because for women entrepreneurs, there is a benefit, of course, available to MSME, and that is also routed through the banks. Can there be a government disbursement directly such cases? I do not know how far it is feasible, but there can be some agencies and some sort of aggregators who will be able to monitor this and give the sanction, and the government, the bank automatically sanctions.
I'm sorry, somehow I got dropped off from
Yeah,
the.
it's okay. Yeah,
So,
See,
yeah,
what Renuka Murli was asking about it, can the government take the onus of directly distributing it to the entrepreneurs through MSME, Udyam portal, whoever is registered, can it be done? instead of bank asking once again the whole lot of a thing and then rejecting many of them. That was her sum and substance of a query, I guess.
Ma'am, that is a very great idea to do, but financial due diligence is what the bank will be doing, and the operational and the other due diligence is what the MSME department is going to do.
True.
So, MSME department's approval can second the entrepreneur's application to the bank that this person is genuine, the product is genuine, and everything is there. But that is fairly true. Taking of time and
We lost you, Rohit, sir.
Okay, from the this one, no, President, if I'm not over enthusiastic, can you just say the modus operandi which you're following, the green energy thing which you're planning to, or you started distributing it to the entrepreneurs?
Okay,
Some
so ma'am,
insights to the extent what you can share. It's
Yeah.
something
okay.
new also for us.
Okay, so Yamanashi Prefecture, so Yamanashi is a state in Japan. So they are the pioneers in green hydrogen. So Yamanashi Hydrogen Company and University of Yamanashi, they have developed green hydrogen technology. So we are trying to connect with them. We are trying to establish a center of excellence in IIT Kanpur here in UP. And through that center of excellence, we will be having, we already have proposals from three oil PSUs and other private companies, including the oil majors of the country, to partner in it, develop the technology, and make it for mass scale adoption. So that is why we are trying to have the center of excellence here in UP, and then promote the mass scale production of green hydrogen that will be powering our own IC engine vehicles. So IC engines will be removed, green hydrogen powered vehicles will come in. Japan is already having a test car. Toyota's Miyazaki is that car. So they are already having that car in Japan, and that is very efficient, and it is still under the trial phase. And then after that, they are extracting gas from that particular facility. So it is power to gas also. So it is renewable, highly effective, cost efficient compared to what EVs are today, because the industry is not sure of where the EV segment is going to take us. The technology is still evolving. It is costly in terms of purchase, in terms of maintenance. So the industry is also apprehensive of the EV technology, and everybody is searching for IC engine alternates.
Right. You also have the recent announcement from Tata about an IC engine that they've developed, which will actually potentially replace EVs going forward. We don't know how far. This was announced about 2-3 weeks back.
Yes, sir. Strong hybrids. UP
Yeah,
was the
strong
first
hybrids.
state to introduce incentives on strong hybrids also. So,
Correct.
transitioning from one technology absolutely to another is not going to happen in a single click. The
Correct.
transition should happen stage wise, phase wise. So, from IC engine, strong hybrids is a phase, and then EV can
EVs
be
will go.
the
Correct.
next step.
Correct.
Yes.
Any questions from any of our participants? You
Yeah.
can either unmute
Any
yourself.
questions from the participant? I haven't got anything in the chat. Let me see if there is. No, I think no questions in the chat. Okay. So I think we'll just time up for closing it. If there is any question. Praveen Tatis, he was seen. Okay. No question from him either. Okay, so Madhu, you can.
I request Mr. Hiren B. Shah, Vice President, Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Madhumati. On behalf of the President and the members of Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, it's my privilege to thank Mr. Rohit Raghava for sparing his Saturday afternoon with all of us and sharing his hands-on knowledge in terms of how he has pioneered collaboration with government, private sector, and turned UP into what it is today as an industrial state. And your insights on MSME were definitely very important. I think all of us as MSMEs and as entrepreneurs realize what the challenges are. And I think there seems to be a way forward that we see from the government in trying to address as much as it can. But ours being a large country and a vast SMSE population of industries, right? I think the labor law change that they announced yesterday is a wonderful step forward in helping a lot of compliance and manpower issues that we've seen a lot of multinational companies arguing every time they come to India. So I'm sure the key challenges that Mr. Rohit has put across and the way forward will help all of us to see how we can structure our industries. And especially in our membership base, which is largely MSME, I think this talk has been very insightful. And we look forward to furthermore contributions from Mr. Rohit as he would like to help the members of our chamber to grow and develop further. I would also like to thank Dr. Gowri and Ms. Renu for thinking of inviting Mr. Rohit Raghava, identifying him as a wonderful speaker, and having this webinar organized. We've crossed more than about 70 participants. It's wonderful for a Saturday afternoon. Thank you all for all the efforts that you've done. And of course, thanks to Madhumati and the team for putting this webinar together. And finally, thanks to our president for enabling all the activities of our different committees. Thank you all, one and all. And if you all still have any questions to ask, please feel free to write a mail to Chamber Secretariat, and we will be more than happy to sort of seek out responses from Mr. Rohit and any of his colleagues and revert back to you. Thank you all and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. On behalf of Hindustan Chamber of Commerce and Economic Affairs Committee, we thank all the participants for joining the virtual webinar today. Namaskar and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Rohit. Next time you're in
for
Chennai, we would be happy to sort of have you at our chamber.
Sure, sure, sir.
Yeah,
keep in
you
touch.
can come to our
Thank you.
premises and give a physical presentation.
Nothing like a face-to-face
Thank
meeting,
you.
right? So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, can I end the meeting, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Dr. Gowri and Ms. Renuka. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Renuka, for mopping up today's this one. Lot of student backup.
Thank you, Gowri ma'am. Thank you, Renuka ma'am. Thank you, Hiren Shah, sir.
Anytime. Thank you for
President.
organizing and putting it through, right? And she managed to do the YouTube link well, so there's no worry. No, we have a recording of that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice. Good. So we should
Thank
start
you.
working on this now. Thank you.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.